Part 2 of 24th of November 2023. We got cut off by my iPhone storage and now my battery is low. Would you believe it? Sabotage every inch of the way. It's crazy making. So hang on, bear with me. I now have to plug in the laptop, which is here. It's not a drama, it's right here, thank goodness. We have to do it twice though, because it just won't recognise it unless I do it twice. So, yeah, my iPhone storage is doing weird things, keeps cutting me off, but I have to keep deleting things from the cloud, which means I'm probably not storing them on the cloud, so I'm paying all that money for nothing, right? Oh well, I won't worry about it. We've got to soldier on, people. We've got to just keep strutting our stuff, no matter what. So I continue from the 24th of November 2021. I was talking about how I felt dizzy from wearing the respirator, and that is preferable to dangerous toxic shale dust in my already incapacitated lungs, right? Right. Oddly, I was quite unwell most of the day. I drove around several second-hand shops searching for silver cutlery. I was fueled by a pressurised type of anxiety. The traffic was mad too, so many idiots on the road. In the end, I bought a t-shirt. Right, here we are back in the game, people. I came home feeling crap. My liver ached. I had a bit of lunch, roasted vegetables, then walked around the house in a restless zombie haze. Then decided to cut up the mother of pearl shell in a burst of activity that came out of nowhere like a firestorm. Now 7:41 p.m. I am exhausted. Not much to show for my efforts. Oh well, I have lots more to cut up. I only got one strip done before it started getting dark. 24th of November 2020. I posted this meme. I wonder if life smokes after it fucks me. I do wonder sometimes. And I wrote, I'm quite sure it does. Phoenix risings are smoky motherfuckers. Yes, they are. Today I finally put the resin on my marble tables. I am not happy with the result. Uneven and too many air holes, even though I went over with the butane lighter. I may have to do a second coat and hope that works. Feeling really frustrated after all the work I did sanding it back, plus the stuff is expensive. Actually need to buy some more. It was over $100. I hate to think what it costs now. So it was 3 years ago, wasn't it? Was it 3 years ago? Did I say 2020 or 2021? 2020, 3 years ago. Prices would have increased a lot since then. I actually sanded back the pink round marble table and left it without any resin, just put a tablecloth on it because I don't use it anyway. But it needs to have the resin covering so it can be actually used without the fear of the marble getting stained, right? So that really is a job that needs to be finished. Here it is 3 years later, I still haven't completed that task. But I had to sand it all back because it didn't work right, it wasn't sitting right, it looked terrible, so I just stripped it right back again. And it was so much work that after that I was like, shmeh, I think I'm done. But no, I'll get round to it, it'll get finished one fine day. Soon. Now that I'm reminded of it, I'll have spulkas in my tuchus to finish it off. I actually don't like when I have unfinished projects lying around the house for years at a time. It grinds my gears. 24th of November 2019. To the person who just invited me back to join the shamanism group that is infested with admins who espouse anti-Semitic views and no doubt behaviours as well, are you fucking serious? Pull that stunt again and I will block you permanently. Thank you. She has now been blocked as she invited me a second time. I do not negotiate with Nazis or any fake shamans who espouse their politics and religious views. Any other fake friends on here who support Nazis can fuck off my page right now too. Don't let the swastika hit ya where the good Lord split ya. Auf Wiedersehen, dirtbags. So I was all fired up about that. That was really unpleasant. But out of that horror, I made a beautiful friend, a French Jewish elderly shaman who was very kind and supportive to me when COVID hit, not long after. It's funny how these things always blow up in your face just before there's a world crisis, right? And you always find your true loves and your true friends. So, to you, Michelle, thank you for your support in those dark times while we were all as a global population terrorised. So I really, really value and appreciate your sweetness towards me. Sitting in Zoom conferences, sometimes you and I were the only ones there, by the way, and just, strutting our, he's a practicing shamanic practitioner, but strutting our shamanic walk together on planet Earth was deeply soul edifying, and I value your friendship to this day. Michelle Citrine. He doesn't watch my YouTube videos, but the energy goes out to you with much love, my darling. Home from another wonderful afternoon at the West End Drumming Circle. Beauregard was completely loved up with lots of massages, and Mama T did what she always does best, held her own ground and flew, winky face. I do make a bit of a dick of myself at drumming. I do. I get all overly energized and exuberant and start telling the people that they need more rhythm and they need more vitality and vivaciousness and pump it up a bit, because I get bored after a while. I do get bored when it's the same monotone rhythm, on repeat. I need variety in my life. Variety is the spice of life, darlings. So I G them up a little bit, and they probably all look at me and go, who is that crazy woman bossing us about at drumming? But, I just like to see everyone light up and spark up and get excited and do their thing, That's the whole point of music. Don't sit there like a monotone, half-dead thing. I lived that way for decades. I can't bear to see it. I can't bear for myself to live that way, and I can't bear to witness it in others. Sparkle up your inner spark, your inner shama, your inner divinity, and shine, babies. Just fucking shine. Rise and shine. At Orley Park, near where we experienced the West End Drumming Circle. This was 2019, it's when it first started up, really. I just had my near-death experience, so I was conflagrating life in all four directions of my being, from inside, from outside, from above, from below, from north, south, east, west. I was a spiraling little inferno of life force reclaiming my psychic space on planet Earth after that scary, confronting experience. I had to laugh as once again my ex-lover was there with his woman, and I rose above it beautifully. Oh, he liked to torture me, that one. So inept and inadequate. Ugh. Like, really looking back, why was I in love with it? It was really a vile creep. But then I saw the sign covered in bird shit and had to laugh. Give love a go in the vapid shittiness of life. Keep loving anyway. And so I did. Give love a go. Loved and loved and loved and loved and loved and loved. Never mind. I gave love a go, and love had a go at me until I had nothing left to give. But we're spiralling back up and out of that morass of evil, my darlings. I must say that a few months ago I had a reading from one of the fake shamans on here. Oh, there's fake shamans. Trust me on that. There's fakes everywhere, darlings. A woman I was extremely supportive of and shared many of her posts bleating about colonialism and racism she experienced as a brown person, but who I recently discovered espoused filthy anti-Semitic views. So I supported her. She was from Mexico. But when it came to me being Jewish, right, oh, did she go into the attack? It's evil. It's evil. These shamans want to purify the swastika and return it to its former ancient, albeit still holocaustic, glory. They did not like it when Titania simply said no, nor when they tried to justify their filthy, Jew-hating attitudes, so I basically went berserk on their heads. In this reading, I was advised to seek a luminous teacher or guide. No doubt they hoped I would find a plastic, fantastic shaman and become their student so they could milk me of my paltry pension money. Yeah? Well, I have found a luminous guide, mentor, teacher during my recent trance drumming at Ecstatic Dance, and I was both completely amazed and a tad in awe. My luminous teacher is not human, and in recent weeks has unleashed the most earthy, tumultuous, and miraculous healing for my mind, body, and spirit. So excuse me if I scream now, laughing out loud. Lilith, you honour me, and in turn, I hope you are proud of me, as I have always, as a Jew, as a woman, a witch, a feminist, a freedom fighter, have always tried to honour you. Mate, oh, I've got chills. All through my body, like vibrations of triumph just ran right through me. May we rise together, healing the filth and carrion of the patriarchy that is still raping and torturing children, and in my own life, still playing nice with my various stalkers. Well, the jig is up. My love is not to be tainted, debased, trivialized, or subsumed. Move along, motherfuckers. No thing to see here. I have done my work. I am the luminous one I have been seeking all my life. No protection or genuine safe sexual partnerships for this little girl grown wise and powerful in her own core after decades of evil cruelty. Sighs. I will keep only those people who treat me with decency, respect, and genuine love. Time is precious. Lilith and I dance and writhe and thrive, alone or in as good human company as I can muster. The rest have their own heroes' journeys to embark on. No more louche feeding zombies, please. Heart and soul, body and mind, rectified and purified and personified. No cross, Star of David, crescent, or filthy fucking swastika. All have been utilised in the murder of innocence. All are stained with blood. Nay, bring me true light and love in your energy signature, and by that symbol I shall know you. Look to your own light and shine accordingly. Don't try to live off mine. And that applies to someone in recent memory thought they'd have a good feed of my energy meridians when I was literally fighting for my breath with the COVID. Dishonouring it was. Dishonouring. Here's my little girl, and as you can see, she was dying, looking quite skinny and scrawny there. But that little pussycat had the life force of 10 berserkers. She fought hard to stay alive, and I kept her alive much longer than needed be, actually. It was bordering on becoming a bit cruel, but each day she would get up and she would just look at me with those glistening, strong, fierce, warrior pussycat goddess eyes and say, "Mama, I'm alive today. I'm alive today." And we went on like that for 6 weeks till I couldn't watch her wasting away in front of me one more day. I just couldn't do it. Sally Castle, who is her original owner, and Sophie lives on. Thank you, Tanya. Love heart. And I replied, she's very skinny but very interactive. Asked for cuddles tonight, which was unusual as she has been her avoidant self again. I think the time may be near that we send her to the void, but while she is fighting on, I am fighting with her. She tells me in her spirit how much she loves me and appreciates the extra time in this incarnation. A great, great spirit of a cat. Kellyanne wrote, "Do you know she has any cancer yet? How old is she? Poor old dear. They hang on because they want to stay with us as long as they can. Such beautiful creatures we share this planet with." And the diagnosis was diabetes, but I don't think I don't think any of my cats had diabetes actually. I think that was a lie. I think it's something far more ubiquitous and invisible at play. The smart meter and the EMF and the radiation, and I don't know. I mean, here I am about to have my bladder Botox to soothe that down. But the ED doctor in January did warn me, don't have any CT scans, any x-rays. And he said it's the radiation that will affect your already hitched up bladder, right? And I think he's right about that. I did have x-rays on my teeth in May, and my health plummeted down again. So he was right. I shouldn't have even had those, but my teeth are a mess. They're all going bing, 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 like ivory on a frickin' piano, kicking them off one by one. All three along here are not good at the moment. Even the urologist just looked at me and said, it's my teeth too. I said, they're picking them off one by one. I'm not looking forward to being toothless. That is my one vanity in life, people. I might not always brush my hair. I might not always, very rarely wear makeup now that I'm an older woman, except when I go out, on Friday nights, or if I'm going somewhere special or meeting someone new, you want to make a good impression. But I very rarely wear makeup, and I'm not a vain person by any stretch of the imagination. But losing my teeth is a torment, an absolute torment for me. I'm dreading it. But I tell you what, if I have to endure any more suffering, I'll just say, just get rid of the lot. I can't do it anymore. It's enough torture. But I've held on this long, so I'll hold on a little bit longer. Here I am, actually quite unwell there, hair not brushed, out with my daughter at Mount Cootha. But yeah, that was when? 2019, I think. 2018. So, I've been pushing myself through life with serious health issues all my life. So I can keep doing this. I'm a powerful woman. I can keep pushing. Here's my little girl. And the reason why you never see photos of my younger daughter Jasmine is we've been estranged for many years, and I don't even know what she looks like now. She could have children, she could be married, could be anywhere. I know she's still alive. I know she's got a partner because Crystal actually let me have that, at least that much information, because I said I was worried about her. She's still my kid out in the world. She's still my child, even if she's 36 and abandoned me years ago. Still my blood. You want to know how your blood are doing, even if it's just out of idle, vague curiosity, I suppose. Apparently she's doing very well. She's got a loving partner and an excellent job or career going, and good on her, good on her. She was always embarrassed and ashamed of my inability to get myself established, while simultaneously sabotaged me every inch of the way as a late teen. So the irony is not lost on me. But anyway, let go, let God, right? Just let them all go. Like the river that doesn't touch the same mossy bank twice. Just let it all flow away. My life is flowing out of me, one way or the other. So I am conscious of that. My young beautiful urologist tells me I have time, plenty of time ahead of me, and I hope so. But the way I've been feeling the last few years, it's been arduous. But with true loves and solid good friendships and the support of my doctors who see me and value me, can see how hard I've fought to stay alive, in spite of all my health issues. I can do anything. Together, we can do anything. Even with my failing, difficult, fraught health and weird existence, the magic is inside me, people, and I can summon it up daily, even if only for a few minutes or hours, like I did when I wrote before that I conflagrated the energy to cut up that shell, right, out of the blue. It came and it went. And that's what my energy has always been like since infancy. 3:46 a.m, finally in bed after my Epsom salt bath. I almost fell asleep in the bath. I had a fantastic night. So that would have been after dancing. I used to have an Epsom salt bath because my feet and legs would just writhe with agony from the exercise, and I need the magnesium hit to sort of soothe things down and settle me so I could sleep when I got to bed, right? I had a fantastic night. Let's hope I get some sleep this morning. So you saw the photo of me later looking particularly wrung out and haggard, so probably didn't get much sleep that day, but at least I danced. At least I have that little bit of joy in my life once a week, right? 24th of November 2016. Releasing with great love and compassion, freedom to my heart, mind and soul. No more lies, no more games, no more betrayals, no more pain. It was a beautiful but tortured karmic connection. Time to complete the grieving. Never look back, or I shall be like Lot's wife. Oh, Tanya, darling, you deserved so much better than that. And I posted the song The Letting Go by Melissa Etheridge. I came here to let you know the letting go has taken place. And so it is. But I had to actually ask for assistance from the voodoo god Papa Legba to finally put that one back in its box and leave it fallow and invite new loves into my life, because it was too long grieving over someone that was just pure evil, really. Happy Thanksgiving to my Yankee Doodle dandies. Freedom to the people. Eat, drink and be merry, and make America safe again. Oh dear Goddess, the whole globe has gone to the dogs, not just America. But here we are, trying every day, our very utmost best, living our best life. I've got to go to Officeworks and print out my passport forms, if I can get them to print. They didn't work the other day. And I actually feel like crawling back into bed. I feel so wrung out. It's ridiculous. But I shall rise and shine again. Tonight, babies, tonight. Watch me fly. My Beauregard sleeps with his paws touching me. Also sits on my feet whenever he can. Like many men in my life, he symbolically walks all over me. But tonight, I find it comforting. He had bad separation anxiety when I spent the day in the Maya Centre with my cousin. He cried the whole time I walked to the bus stop, like my former beloved dog Bella Rosa, I rarely go out without him, so it was hard. Here he is, my baby, my beautiful boy. Here he is. At least once a day I scream to the gods, I want my Beauregard back. But he needs to be at peace and in the next dimension, and I mustn't hold on to him. He needs to be free and at peace with the Ein Sof Or, like all who pass over into the light. We mustn't drag them back down to us and hold them prisoners with our grief. We must let them fly, and when they come to us as guides or protectors or muses, it shall be of their own free intentions and will, even from the spirit world. Don't call the zombies back to you, darlings. It only means a life of a half-life, a shadow land. Even in the spirit world, the spirits need to be free, my darlings. I even set that evil fucking bloodless dog, Davidson, free. And he didn't deserve that, by the way, me letting him go into the light. He deserves to writhe in hell for eternity for what he put me and my children through. It is what it is. Tonight I am grateful for the love I gave and poured out and exploded like a safety beacon at sea. For the kindness of strangers, for the unconditional love of true pets and of true friends and my pets. For life, for my big heart, which should have quit decades ago, but the gods and the Tanya wouldn't let it. For the constant suffering and the constant craving. For the sabotage and the ass kicks, which probably ultimately saved me from even worse misery. Pretty fucked up when you even are grateful for certain enemies. For complex PTSD, which gifted me with a fantabulous bullshit antenna and a hypervigilance, but also robbed me of any hope of real, enduring, romantic love, as I can't close my eyes, ears, heart to the obvious truth, even as I want to. Just on the bus to head home, you have to laugh. Just on the bus to head home, I had a lovely catch up with my cousin Melvin. Wow, the transformation. He looked fitter and happier, no more walking cane, a glow to his face. It made me happy to see he is so much happier living in Cairns. It is stinking hot outside. Phew! The heat hit me like a wet blanket as soon as I stepped out of the Maya Centre. The smell of the cigarettes. It's blowing right into my kitchen. I am glad to be going home so I can check on the chooks and the dog. He must be sitting very close by. Oh well. It's his sacred space garden. He can do what he wants. Do what ye want, and harm ye none. Do what ye will. My doctor wants me to give up on the casino and my performance art, which is very exhausting, and to find ways to visit Byron Bay more. He says I need peace, love, and happiness, and of course the beautiful clear waters. Indeed, that's exactly what I need. He says I should dance in the ocean with the dolphins. I give too much of my warrior energies away in the nightlife. I agree, wholeheartedly. He suggested I advertise on social media for people to travel with me in my car, $20 each, so I can pay for petrol and my food expenses there. Such a great idea. Today I'm having lunch with my cousin Melvin, who is visiting from Cairns. It is already a hot day, but I woke up early and slept sporadically during the night. I have showered and am thinking of heading into the city early for a spot of window shopping. See how the morning evolves. 24th of November 2015. I am very tired and hungry, but doing my best to drink the poop goop from hospital. All I can think about is KFC, chips, chocolate, ice cream, and Jack Daniels. Wah. Alcide is feeling more confident and at home. He just growled and snapped at his nemesis, Frida, who was so surprised she backed off. I am so proud of him asserting himself. Anarchy, incoming, laughing my ass off. The poop medication, by that I mean the colonoscopy prep, has made me woozy and lightheaded or woozy. Same thing really. I haven't started the movement, but I had very light meals the past few days. Excited about Alcide and wary of lush, rich meals which would make today and tomorrow even more revolting. I need to go out and buy food for tomorrow night, but for now I have to wait. I hate being regimented by an entire alimentary canal system. Right now I hate all doctors, possibly nurses too. Not that it is their fault I eat shit until I die, or that Monsanto has poisoned all our food sources with glyphosate, so we are all rotting our own bowels. Nor is it their fault that as a child abuse survivor, long-term trauma gave me GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder. Oh, look, a puppy! Forget about all the negative shit. Release and reset the program of my life. That was my intention, people. Alcide and I are getting along like a piglet in mud. He loves his new mama, his new cats, his new chickens. Not bitch Frida though. Wait until he is bigger. Ha! He loves his clam pool. Today I showed him the big spa bath pond, so he saw the Find family. He did not know what to think of them. They are almost as big as him. Well, slight exaggeration. And my friend Sherry Paris, who I knew for many years on Pal Talk, wrote, "Love that baby, and the baby will get you through this. I love you. I love you too. Hopefully the colonoscopy will be my last ordeal for 2015. It shouldn't have happened because it was just on the tail end of my suicide attempt. I really wasn't well enough to go through that ordeal, mentally or physically. It was a big fucking ask. Little Alcide's beautiful puppy love will sweep the ick away with his fresh broom. Soon I have to start the prep for the colonoscopy tomorrow. This is going backwards in time, people. Ugh, and putrid ugh. I have a boiling anxiety and feel like running away. One simply cannot escape one's own health issues. Well, yes, they can, when you refuse to comply for the latest Lexus driving proctologist, right? Sons of bitches they were. I hate being subject to probing and plumbing. I guess once every 5 years is not so bad. They wanted me to do it yearly. It takes me 3 months to recover after every colonoscopy because I'm allergic to the aspartame, and all that internal upsets my system as well. And it strips your body of all your good gut flora. You know, you're literally ill for well, I am. Other people bounce back at work in a week. No, I suffered like an animal after every colonoscopy for at least a minimum of 2 months. Lynn is going to take me and pick me up and stay and have dinner with me. I am so lucky. I asked her to come early so she can meet and play with Alcide before I have to go to the hospital. She will love him as much as Jared and I do. Crystal got to see him on Skype and she was thrilled for me, said she has never seen me so happy. I said, yes you have, as I was even more in love with you as a baby, if that seems even possible. My heart just exploded. She giggled. That is the sad thing about human offspring. They have the memory tucked away in the brain somewhere, but they rarely comprehend how big a mother's love can be until they have their own children. My mother used to mock me when she saw me with Crystal and later Jasmine. She said, "You are so maternal," spoken with a mild sneer. "You must get it from your father's mother who had so many children." I said, well, Connie didn't have much choice. No contraception in those days. All 7 of those smelly, ungrateful louts of sons. My mother was jealous of my love for my children and my animals. When my very first pet rooster died, he fell off the back of a truck and I adopted him right away, thinking he was a hen and wondering why he didn't lay eggs for 3 weeks, until I brought 2 hens home and someone crowed. Lucy became Luke. Anyway, when he died a horrible death because the vet was a bastard and rough with him when I demanded he be euthanized like a cat, he threw him about on his table and Luke fought hard, sensing what was to come. The injection was quick and he was gone. The vet only charged me $5, sadist that he was. I went home and took to my bed and cried for 2 weeks, not just at the loss of my pet rooster, but at the sadism of that vet that I had trusted with my bird, right? It was completely evil and awful. My mother, one of the rarest occasions of her actual attempts at mothering, invaded my space by getting into bed with me, attempting to comfort me about Luke. My husband was useless in the face of my grief and epic depression. Well, he was just useless in general, wasn't he? Really? He was a sadistic motherfucker too. Was. Still is. A leopard doesn't change their spots, people. Anyway, let go, let God. She soothed me, this is my mother Gisela, by stating she had never seen anyone love a chicken like I loved that rooster, which was ironic as we sold cooked rotisserie chickens by the hundreds in our business. She said he was a very lucky Luke to fall off the back of a truck headed for slaughter outside my house, and I had given him a nice life. Then she even said how jealous she was of the love I had inside me. I cried even more, completely traumatized by the injustice of even a chicken's life. One born to be eaten, one rescued from a truck going to slaughter, and destined to be brashly put to sleep by a monstrous vet. Life is weird sometimes, but now I have little Alcide, a new baby to look after and rejoice in. I pray we merit to have a long and happy life together. And those weren't the cards that were dealt me, by the way. Alcide and I have to shut his cigarette smoke is actually making me cough. All right. For the love of God. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Alcide and I woke up again at 9:44 a.m. He slept nestled in my pillows behind my bed. As soon as he started whimpering, we got up and raced outside for him to pee. He spent 5 minutes eating grass and playing with leaves, then went under the wooden table and did a poo. Yay, he has got it. He was so pleased with himself too. I told him he was a very good boy. Then he sniffed at the clam pool, so I filled it with fresh water and he had a little Pomeranian paddle. Then he ran around in mad circles in the lawn, trying to get Mushu to play. Mushu was not inclined, but rather astounded to meet someone smaller than him, and not liking no longer being the smallest baby in the family. He has been kind to Alcide. Socks and Sophie are off in a huff. Unusual for Sophie to disappear, but I know they will be back for dinner. Sophie is more annoyed than Socks about the new puppy. Socks just looks aghast, but not really hostile. My beautiful Socks. He was a beautiful cat. They were all beautiful souls. My life was enriched by all my beautiful pets. Literally enriched, quite literally, to the generosity of their original owner was astounding towards me. God bless you, Sally. 7:22 a.m. How do you turn a night stalker / dancer extraordinaire into an early morning bird? Get a puppy. We have woken up, been outside for wee-wees, wished Penny and Mushu a good morrow. We have nibbled on cat and dog biscuits, quietly observed Mushu trying to dominate Penny with ill consequences. Let Penny outside to escape the horny-toed creature. We have gone back to bed with Mummy for snuggles. Mummy ate 3 banana muffins for breakfast and is supping on a cup of tea. Tomorrow, I will be having a colonoscopy. I will be gone from 12:15 till 5-ish. I hate leaving Alcide. I guess he's going to be fine for half a day. November 24th, 2014. Rest in peace, just a mere male, aka David Paul. You are a great spirit and a much-loved friend, a quiet, reserved, gentle man, and a great spiritual mentor. Love you always. And I knew him from many years on Pal Talk. And he was a gorgeous, decent, kind man and a dear friend to me. Platonic. One of the few Davids that I had in my life that didn't try to damage me, by the way, which makes him even more special. Trigger warning, suicide DV. Wow. I just woke up from a 3-hour nap. The anaesthetic I shut the window, but it's still coming in through the kitchen window down over there. The anaesthetic at the dentist really knocks me around. Now I'm ready to partay, but no car, laughing my ass off. Crystal's moving to Ireland in May next year. Most likely I will never see her again, or very rarely. I'm trying to come to terms with that new reality, more abandonment, but I get it. There's not much opportunity for her acting career here. Europe will be awesome for her, or so we hoped. My own grandmother suicided at 54 after my mother got married as she feared a life of isolation and post-war Germany, extreme poverty. She had a long history of violent mental issues and major depression. It was a terrible act, but as I get older and have been living with a similar reality now for many years, I get it. I forgive her damaging my already fucked up mother in that cruel way. When the psychopath has no more victims to lash out at, they often turn on themselves, either by misadventure, suicide, or develop autoimmune diseases. My mother-in-law, sadly another narcissist, died 9 days after my husband and I migrated to Australia. I had promised I would bring her here when we settled, but she didn't believe me. She died of a heart attack only 3 months after having her left breast removed. She had her daughter and her family to look after her, but she feared they would not care about her, with good reason. Both Shirley and her husband Jacques were horrid psychopaths, and their vicious emotional attacks on me were part of the reason I decided to migrate to Australia. I had to survive and wanted a better life for my children, away from toxic people. Well, Hilda died, no doubt suffering from the grief and rejection and abandonment. Her rotten son, my former husband, made sure we only had an hour before boarding our flight with her, and I knew she was suffering, and I knew she might die. On the plane, I cried the entire 3.5-hour flight. Not just cried, sobbed. We were late boarding the plane too. I, who was so happy to be starting a new life in a new country, already knew there would be horrific consequences of my decision. I had removed myself from one toxic family, but was flying into the cesspit of my own remaining vicious mother's campaign of terror, which really blew out of all human decency 7 years later when my stepfather, Kees van der Greft, died. It's actually pronounced Greft, but I say Greft. The rest is just 20 years wasted in more and more torture until my own personal hag died. Now, after barely surviving the Aarons, Cohen, Phillips, van der Greft, Stewart debacles, I am about to be abandoned and rejected yet again. Not by any shitty, churlish lover or partner, used to that, and those men never really loved me, so I can write that off to more waste of my heart and mind. As my evil sister used to say to me, implying that I was somehow stupid or crazy, and reinforcing the fact my entire life has been an epic failure. In quotes, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. The condescending, evil fucking dog. Oh, she's a piece of work. I'm glad she declared me dead in 2012. Very, very glad. Because dead sisters don't cry. Maybe so, but she worked hard in collusion with other abusers to make sure I would suffer for the rest of my life. Even from birth, she hated and resented me. I get it. She was trying to survive 3 very disturbed adults and was wrongfully put in the caretaker role of an infant when she had only the day before my birth turned 15. But she declared me dead 2 years ago. 11 years ago now. Too cowardly to admit to how many ways she contributed to my abuse by refusing to be a young adult woman and removing me from that house of horrors. Well, dead sisters don't cry, Angela. Dead sisters don't die for you either. They dance wildly, embracing the remainder of their life force. They live with their own fire to light their way in dark abysses and seethe the abscesses of the heart, mind, soul. Oops, just popped another one. They survive and survive and survive. Sometimes they strive to thrive. Sometimes they dive. It's all good. I have things money can't buy. I have things I never asked for and didn't want, but were thrust upon me. I have life. I have the kind of beauty built from the degradation, humiliation, and the horror of living with liars, fake people, and narcissists and psychopaths, and so much destruction that they wreaked on my life. Yet I rise and shine to greet the day and the night, and sometimes I even laugh in the face of so much madness, even I can't process it all in one go. 15 years of therapy and still going. 25 now, isn't it? 25 years of therapy. To my doctor, who loves me, agape love, unconditional, and fights for my thriving on this planet, in our 3D reality, in this time and space, in the eternal now. That takes courage, people. Great courage and great love. And I am grateful. And here I write, almost precognitively prefacing the next paragraph, which I hadn't read yet. I am greatly loved in this life I have now. I am valued, respected, sometimes feared, misunderstood, but I am rich in spirit and experience, and I am a worn down old warrior, but I love my hard won peace. I must work on holding on for a new life. Even, I'm going to get a shorter chain. I'm making a chain at the moment. Needs to be on a shorter chain, this one. Should be sitting here, not way down underneath my boobillage. Sorry, got distracted by pretty things, as I do. I must work on holding on for a new life, even without my daughter. I must discover a new paradigm for myself. I am back from the QE2 dentist. My lovely young Indian lady is wonderful. Hasima, wherever you are, you gorgeous girl. Well, woman. I say gorgeous girl because it's, it's onomatopoeia, it runs together. But I mean woman. Brave, courageous. And she fought hard for me to keep my teeth, that beautiful dentist. One of the few public dentists that actually treated me with honour and respect and decency and genuine kindness and affection too. So patient, gentle and kind. She had to patch my crown under the gum line as it was exposed and sensitive, and then did a filling on the top tooth. She suggested I buy tooth mousse or Sensodyne Repair to put on at night for my sensitivity problems. She asked about coconut oil pulling, which I said I'd started doing because I just was trying to clear out all the bacteria out of my mouth. I knew I was in trouble, right? She said the research says that has good effects too. I should actually get back into that. The CT scan thing they did on my mouth and jaw shows calcification in my ligaments. It actually hurts today. Funny, you mentioned dentistry and everything starts remembering that it hurts, like instant somatization. She says that is why it hurts to open my mouth wide. I said, how did that happen? She said, it's part of the aging process. I feel like that munch person in the screen. Maybe I should scream more often, laughing my ass off. Nah, I'm over being a wide-mouthed banshee screaming into the night. It was very healing at the time, though. One more appointment and my toothy problems should be over for another year, or so I hope. Here I post a photo of the mound that my local scrub turkey makes, or was making. They've stopped making mounds in my yard, which I'm greatly relieved about, actually. It was great for cleaning up all the mulch, but it was kind of messy too. He's getting desperate for mound goodies. He is now raiding my compost heap. His mound is now huge. I wonder how many turkey eggs are in there, and will they each build their scrub turkey mound city in my backyard? Ah, my personal Hitchcock nightmare. When I manifested abundance and prosperity, this is not quite what I had in mind, laughing my ass off. And I put my bastard buzzard scrub turkey doing what nature intended. So that was back in 2014. 24th of November 2013. I heard tonight that the live wire bar at the casino is being brought back to life. Finally, thank the Lord. I told the powers that be at the Treasury Casino they would lose money by getting rid of it, and it seems I was right. So the live bands will be starting again on Friday, 13th of December. I will be able to spend time dancing at my favourite Irish Murphy's pub as well as the Live Wire bar. So happy little mosher here. My busker mate George is happy too, as it will bring more business in the night. So I'll be hanging with him and the beautiful Ellen, the violinist, at the end of my wild, wild nights. Life can't get any better except having a life or love partner and money. Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. I still got my health. Hack, hack, hack. Back. At least I finally got my wish, which was to have fun and enjoy real freedom before I die. Who knows? I might just keep on living and fucking enjoying my life. And here we are, 10 years later, against all the odds, still alive, still enjoying my life, even in its limited, closing windows of opportunity due to my lungs and my bladder and my bowels and my complex PTSD and my broken kintsugi heart. But on I ride like a chariot of fire into the future, intrepidly and fiercely as ever. And since my urologist tells me I probably won't die of this condition I have, although it is draining and exhausting, but I can get treatment for it, I'll be dancing a bit longer, babies. I'll be dancing through life a fair bit longer, for as long as the gods decree, and let me be me. Now that would be a wonderful turn up for my book of life, and one hell of a flourishing finish, because God knows I deserve to flourish in the next phase of my life. If only I were capable of it. I can't think of if onlys, only what is. The past few weeks have been the most wildest and happiest of my entire existence, without a doubt in my mind. My 49th year was amazing, and then the following year I tried to kill myself. The sword of Damocles swings both ways, people. But my 49th year was bloody. It was an awesome year that year. It was like I was surrounded by so much love and support and honour and beauty, and it was a good year that year. Some dude tonight told me I was crazy and he liked it. Blech. I said, of course I am crazy. You don't get to be this awesome by being normal, you know. I ditched him though. I don't like men who call me crazy. It's a trigger I have. Poor schmuck kept trying to kiss me, and he had a huge rip in the seat of his jeans. Double ooh. Like, put some decent clothes on before you try to seduce a woman, even a crazy one. Ha ha ha. He had nice hair though. Oh well, as Jared says, I gotta quit having or starting relationships with wigs. Great hair, but not much under the hair, laughing my ass off. So Jared, you would be proud of me. I let a great curly, wild mop of hair slip away into the night. Yes! Oh, and I eliminated 2 emotional game players from my snare of seduction, or theirs. No time, no patience, and no love for fuckers. Pity, as I really liked both of them. And they are too stupid to realise that they could have been in my life for a really good and long time. And I'm laughing because I just realised who those 2 were. It is comical, people, it really is. in time everything becomes comedy, almost everything. So I got a little sad and then a little mad and then thought, fuck, there is someone out there who will be the right man for me, and if he never shows up or can interact with me in an honest, mature, decent fashion, then I am not missing out on any more predating, psychopathic, twatty shits. Oh, I had to vent a little. It's my prerogative, lol. Game over. No love, no lust, no romance, no dates, no bonks, and no things, lol. Next. I guess when the universe chooses the right man and the right time, you gotta laugh. I will be informed appropriately, like the karma angel that bazammed player number 2 last night. Just fucking priceless. Okay, so one of those men wasn't the one I thought I was thinking of. Yes, but that was still priceless, and he kind of deserved that. And I deserved it too, having a young man throw me up in the air with great ardour and passion and wildness, and made me look good, babies. Made me look good. Which used to happen from time to time. There was one wild, passionate young Irishman when I went dancing with my friends at O'Malley's. He also threw me up and spun me around in the air, and oh, it was delightful. And there was this woman there that was a regular at the casino Livewire bar who was actually quite bitter and always condescending and with me and very judgy. But she was in O'Malley's that night when that young man threw me in the air, all wild and carefree. Oh, he was a lovely young man, really lovely. We had a wild dance together. It was joyous. He was married, and I thanked him for the dance, and he was like, "Oh, thank you." He said, "I had to do it. You're delightful, Tanya." We just clicked. You know how you click sometimes. It's not a sexual thing. It's just joyful and sweet and absurdist and fun. I need more of that in my life. More joy and sweetness and fun. Not people wanting to lasciviously roil on me with no honour or respect or integrity. Yuck. I'm not going there, guy friends. Even if I did tease the last one along a little bit, but only because he started it, and I wanted to see what his true intentions were. Anyway, so this gorgeous young Irishman was throwing me up in the air and spinning me and catching me. He was very strong, tall, and he was a carpenter by trade, he said. But this snippety, bitchy woman was like, well, after we finished our dance and I thanked him politely and, we shook hands and we parted as friends, the passion had slided away back to wherever that energy came from, that wonderful Irish, Viking, Celtic energy that ran between us like a fire. That woman was so fucking impressed, right, that after that event, she would come to the casino and just look at me and actually was nice to me after that. And she'd be like, "Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good, love, I'm good." And I'd think, what? Is that all it took for her to see a man throw me up in the air like a potato sack, twirl me around? It's all it took. People are weird, aren't they? But anyway, she turned out, after all those previous years of being a bit condescending, weird, she turned out to be quite a nice lady once she got over her judgy McJudgy attitudes towards me. Saw that I actually do only go out to have fun and be carefree and wild, and there's no agenda, there's no ugliness, and I'm not actually looking for hookups, She saw that right in front of her face. telling the young man it's lovely and we've had fun and I appreciate you, you know. So, but yeah, there was another occasion where 4 New Zealand naval sailors threw me up in the air too. 4 of them threw me up in the air and caught me. And I said, what are you doing that for? Oh, they said, oh, we had to because you're a New Zealander like us. And it was delightful, it really was. And I was wearing my silk, my sari silk skirt, wrap over skirts. And my former friend Sarah, who was very sabotaging and vicious and was very cruel and hooked up or played sick, perverted games with my former love interest, Dave. Well, anyway, we were out together and she was, I don't know what she was drinking or tuning some male up. And she turns around just as she sees me, literally flying in the air. And there was this moment where time stops, you know, when it's just so magical and amazing that time freeze frames. And I'm falling through the air, right? And my silk skirt is billowing everywhere like a great purple cloud. And she turns around, just at that moment, sees me flying and billowing. And the look on her face was like, and of course, a millisecond later, one of the sailors was a woman, by the way, so it was 3 men and 1 woman. All 3 of the sailors from the New Zealand Navy ship had caught me. They had literally hobbit tossed me, darlings, because I am a hobbit, and thrown me up. And I went, oh, you're hobbit tossing me, you bastards. And they laughed too. And then they caught me. Anyway, they were delightful, those 4. And, well, I won't go on with the rest of that story. But anyway, you can imagine how that ended up. Because I was enchanted. They said, we've got to look after our own. They said, you're a Kiwi. I said, mate, I've lived in Australia longer than I've lived in my home country. Very, very Australian now. They went, never mind, we see your spirit, you're still one of us. And they were just so lovely to me. They really were. It was very sweet. Anyway, I continue with my reading. Meanwhile, I have my garden, my cat, my hens, and my beautiful, generous, supportive, real loves who are always, always there for me. My real family, my friends. I love you so much, as without you, I could not have lived to be this person. And I am honoured that you believed in me even when I wanted to check out a few too many times. I see you and you see me. Curtsies. Blows kisses. I am loving my Charles Bukowskian lifestyle. Charles Bukowski was a raging alcoholic, by the way, and I'm not an alcoholic. But I love his writing and how he would observe people out in the bars where he drank, and he would observe human nature, and he was gritty and real and authentic. And that's my connection to Charles Bukowski, is we have this earthy way of looking at life and seeing it how it really is, and yet somehow finding strength or mana or nourishment from it, even the at times sordid ugliness thrown our way, right? So here we go. Just got a hot flush just thinking about Charles Bukowski. Maybe that's his spirit coming to sit with me, because he knows he was a brilliant writer, and he knows I too have that level of brilliance. Maybe not his level of brilliance though, the man was a genius, but anywho, hot flush just thinking about it. I'm loving my Charles Bukowskian lifestyle. It's truly awesome. I can't stop rocking out all weekend by night and resting by day. It's not attracting a partner, but at the end of the day, I am happy so far. I realised tonight how much I need my own personal space and freedom, and I don't want to sacrifice my newfound freedom for any man, woman, or child. It's been hard won and sorely needed. Tonight I danced so long and so wildly that I released a lot of pain and tension, only to come home crippled with foot pain, but it's worth it, so worth it. I had a wonderful time dancing with my women friends, Liz, Shauna, Sam, and the beautiful Katrina, who stayed with me all night, and we looked out for each other. I massively lost my temper with one guy whom I had told at least 3 or 4 times to get away from me. I even moved seats to move away without conflict, but the dumbass had to push it. I really needed to sit down too, as I was tired and in pain, but to get away from him, I had no choice but to get up and keep dancing and rocking out. I didn't mind, as bursts were playing, and they are awesome, and as the night goes on, they play harder and harder rock, which I find mesmerising and puts me in the zone. I don't know what's happening with my hair. It's all going funny. Funny hair. My hair's in the zone, man. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Update 2020. Pity that pub turned into a filthy, rape den, treacherous snake pit. But I was in denial in the early years of my wild, tempestuous celebration of freedom. After that vile will dispute and my even viler family of origin. Still in all, there were some good times in that pub before it all turned so evil. Here's me with my grandson, the rare Queensland rabbit, which my daughter had a permit to own him and little Suki, as she was a professional clown at the time and he was part of her act. I chose that rabbit for my daughter. He was the most beautiful soul, and I was deeply, deeply in love with him. And I will never forgive biosecurity for making us relinquish them when Crystal went to Europe. I see no reason, since they were both desexed and fully vaccinated against all the rabbit illness diseases, that they could not have just been transferred into my care for the 3 years my daughter was in the UK. I mean, it's not like if they got out they were going to breed. They were desexed rabbits. I found that freaking law so insanely draconian and absurdist and ridiculous and fucking evil, okay? To deprive people of their beloved pets who were no threat to biosecurity on the basis they weren't going to breed. Like, for fuck's sake. But anyway, it was another battle that I just didn't have the energy to fight anymore. And the fines were so extremely high if you got caught keeping them, without the permit. It wasn't worth it. So there was a grandchild, albeit a rabbit grandchild, literally stolen from me. The stolen generation, one of my babies. That might seem mad to the uninitiated, but that's how much I love my pets and my daughter's pets too. So if I could have found a human lover, life partner, imagine how much love I could have poured into you if you'd only just once treated me with decency and honour. So, fuck you all, quite frankly. I'll stick to rabbits. If I ever move into New South Wales, I'll get a pet rabbit again. They're lovely pets. They really are. Quiet. All you hear is as they walk around the house. Gorgeous they are. Drinking 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a glass of warm water. Not such a good idea, now having epic stomach cramps for fuck's sake. The Epsom salt bath gave my skin some relief though. Still not bloody tired, which is ridiculous. Schmeh. And a comment. Activist post. 7 volcanoes in 6 different countries all start erupting within hours of each other. No wonder I've been full of fire and impulsiveness myself. I thought it was the gathering thunderstorms which always make me wild. But now I see this. It has given me reason to think. Perhaps I'm fiery and wild for other earth energy reasons. Still haven't been to bed yet, so exhilarated from my wild weekend dancing. Fuck yeah. Think I will watch Sons of Anarchy and eat toast. Why not? It's almost 6 a.m. on Sunday morning and I can't think of a finer thing to do, apart from sleeping that is. Oh my God, still fruit batting, so now having a luxurious Epsom salt bath to soothe my itchy skin from sweating while dancing, so not sexy lol, and my sprained left foot from too much moshing, then I will attempt sleep, whatever. So I overactivated my nervous system so much I didn't sleep that night at all, as often happens when I get flickered by something or someone. November 24th, 2012. Still not asleep, which means I will crash and burn later tonight or tomorrow. Eep. So that was the previous year. So maybe it's just the summer heat that gives me insomnia too. You just don't know, do you, how my brain works? Having a crazy laughter-filled time with Jared and Crystal at her place. Sleep deprivation makes me mad and funny. I am extraordinary. This is what I tell my particularly persistent prospective partners as a way to fend them off. I also actually happen to be extraordinary, but it pays to keep them guessing. Marco was quite determined tonight. He told me he is afraid of me because he watched me hoist the guy on my shoulder the other week. I said, good, you should be. But to be fair, he was a very small person. So Marco goes on to tell me how strong and beautiful I am and how sophisticated I am. I laughed at that. Sophisticated? Me? I am the woman who can shoulder men who annoy me. I eventually told him to go home at 3 a.m. when he asked if I would go home with him. Lol, the chutzpah. I said, no, you had your chance with me 3 months ago and blew it. There will never be another chance. Mind you, he was devilishly handsome. Devilishly handsome, babies. Unfortunately, his mind wasn't quite, he had a fucked mind, that one. But the sex was incredible. But the fucked mind, people, the fucked mind. Oh well, as they say in homeopathy, like cures like. Fuck off, David Davidson. You have to laugh. I'm sure that came straight from David Davidson. Like cures like. You had a fucked mind and your magnificent penis, but you were fucked too, mate. Completely fucked what you put me through. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Ha! Let them keep trying, as I have their number. Oh yes I do. Oh yes I do. Happy, extraordinarily happy to be home with my dog, cats and hens and goldfish in my extravagant boudoir. Now wait a minute, I must have been right off my head because the goldfish don't live in my boudoir, but they're in the pond in front of my boudoir, so close enough, but no chocolate fish. Crippled pain in my feet from dancing all night, but extraordinarily content. Last night, I wore my red corset and black skirt and boots and got a lot of compliments from several women and a few men. Marco kept telling me over and over again how lovely I dress myself. Then he went and ruined it by asking if I were a rich woman. Hilarious. All my clothes are second-hand, including my fabulous corsets. Well, that's not true anymore. My last corsets I bought over the years, I bought new, but I got them on sale. So they were still a bargain. It's good to keep the punters guessing, though. So that's what he was after me for. He thought I was rich, right? Another parasite, right? Yes, more vermin than you can poke a stick at did I find at that casino. Unbelievable. On the bus home after a fantastic night, Christian's birthday party was awesome, and I danced the rest of the night at the casino. 8th dawn, but will need a big sleep after dancing for 6 hours. I met 2 lovely women who asked me to stay back with them. Then we lost one, so I gallantly stayed with the other lady until we found her errant friend. We missed our bus, but it was rather entertaining, listening to the shticks of the dawn homeless panhandlers who profited from my generosity quite handsomely. Being one step up from extreme madness and homelessness myself, I see it as my karmic duty to give what I can. 24th of November 2010. Love is not the opposite of hate. Love and hate are very similar emotions. Like a faucet with hot and cold handles, both temperatures of water come out of the same faucet. The opposite of love is indifference, like a faucet with no water coming out. Dave Berg, my friend God. Me. I hear you, Dave Berg, been the recipient of indifference one time too many. It does leave you feeling like a faucet with no water, or feeling abandoned on a desert island with no water, all dry like an empty husk, blowing on the vicissitudes of fate. Screw it. I want passion, reality, someone strong enough to tell me the truth and not hide behind delusions and their friends. And my former friend Bobby Orley, who was half Cherokee and half Welsh, I believe, but raised in Inala, lovely man, very kind to me. He wrote, "That only happens in movies, girl. Pity life isn't a big movie, hey?" Me. No, Bobby, there are real people out there. I know, 'cause I am as real as I can get. I just attract weak, psychopathic men who can't be real or honest. Tonight at McDonald's, some guy tried to pick me up. It was so funny because he was obviously hypomanic and nutty as a fruit bat. Gail told me not to engage with him, but I had a brief chat to the guy. I laughed when we sat down with Talia because Gail said, "I work with mental patients all day. I don't want to have to deal with them in my spare time." I said, "Yeah, and it's really frightening because the only men that want to chat me up or have anything to do with me are seriously insane. So not a good picture." But I had a good laugh over it anyway. But life is one big movie. Only you have to be the star in your own movie and write your own script and play to it, 'cause no one else gets you the way you get yourself. I've tried to play to others' tunes, and all it ever got me was damaged beyond repair. Now I live my own life, keep myself safe, and enjoy being a legend in my own mind, and screw what anyone else thinks. This is why I have very few friends who I know are completely there for me, are real, genuine, brave enough to understand my traumatic past and not judge or hate me harshly for it. If I didn't have these beautiful, supportive, caring, courageous people in my life, I would probably not be here right now. Now, I wrote that back in 2010. Like, hello? Same old groove, babies. Same old groove. Weeping Rose dug into the ground this afternoon. She's a beauty. I'm glad I dug her in, as now she is lower down in the ground and I can admire her roses easier. So annoying being short. I have to strain to see anything over 6 foot. I'm worried she might go into shock, but I kept as much of her roots in the potting mix and tried not to disturb her too much. 24th of November 2009. Had a tiring but successful day moving Crystal back from Toowoomba to Logan. Hot day, lot of driving, but we both did very well. So, yet again, evidence of how supportive I have always been of my daughters. In particular, Crystal, who stuck in there up until recent memory, long after Jasmine was estranged. So, I moved heaven and earth for my kids many, many, many times, but I've yet to see them move heaven and earth for me. It is what it is. Anyway, my darlings, I send much love from the Ein Sof Or channeled through our bodies, through all the Sefirot, literally from the gods, down to Malkut in this 3D reality. Love out to my daughter, even though she has abandoned me. Love out to my enemies, because God knows if you haven't sucked out enough of my love and left me for dead. I am a constantly, infinitely replenished resource. So I'll send you enough love for you to have the cognition of your actions and your awakening. And maybe one day you'll realise my true heart and worth and soul, and actually feel a little bit of shame at the bad way you treated me for eons. And of course, I send agape love out into the world for those struggling in this moment, in the space-time continuum, to remind you, you can do and be anything and anyone, but it comes from in here, and it comes from in here. The heart-mind coherence. And yes, I'm still working on mine too at 58 and a half years to recalibrate from decades of horror. But when my time comes, it's going to be magical, miraculous, and astoundingly beautiful. And hopefully, by the grace of the Holy One and all the gods and all manifestations, my true beloved will be with me when that day comes, to witness it, so that we can enjoy our beautiful lives together, with harm to none, with competition from and with none, with envy and spite and sabotage from none. And so it is, and so it shall ever be. My life begins with each breath in this moment, and the psychedelic dream unfurls and swirls and twirls. And tonight, babies, Mama T, the Tanya, the psychedelic dreamer, and Miss Five are dancing. Have a beautiful day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. God's blessed, and always and ever you must always and ever remember, never ever let the bastards grind you, me, us, humanity down. Love you, bye.